Perhaps the most chilling aspect of F.W. Murnau's Nosferatu is its subtle quietness. Being a silent film, the film relies its scares on terrifying imagery, as opposed to now, where this is seen as substantial.
Maddie!
It's a film that pays special attention and craft to its terror, using silence and over-exaggerated architecture and character design, making a staple film in the German Expressionist era of horror. German Expressionism finds its origins in the First World War. Having experienced the chaos, bleakness, and violence of war, several German artists found comfort in expressing their feelings through various forms of art. Stephanie Brown writes in an introduction to German Expressionism, 1915 through 1925, the second generation, that while for some artists the war was a major influence, for others the terrible situation prevailing in the cities afterward provided the necessary spark. German Expressionist paintings often depicted grisly and unsettling imagery, such as struggling soldiers, scattered corpses, and missing limbs. These subjects were heavily exaggerated, showing people with soulless eyes and angular positions, as well as buildings that twist and turn in impractical ways. These works often seem to reflect nightmares, combining both surreal and disturbing imagery. As Expressionism grew in popularity, it eventually found its way into the film medium. In film, the most defining characteristic of German Expressionism would have to be the set design. In these films, the walls would stretch, warp, twist, and bend as long, overreaching shadows cast themselves over top. Keeping in line with Expressionism, these distinctive design choices gave a nightmare-like feeling to these films. With the addition of motion, as well as the muted nature of silent film, the film medium allowed German Expressionism to reach its full potential. A quiet, surreal, distant nightmare. Nosferatu holds its place as among the most influential German Expressionist films of its time. From a doorway that perfectly matches the height of Count Orlok, to his long, creeping shadow overcasting itself as it ascends up a stairway, Nosferatu exudes all the typical tropes of its genre. Even in the character's design, Expressionist features are apparent. Look at how long his fingers are. Look at how his fingers are splayed out, like the arms of a spider. Look at his tiny, sharp fangs. Most vampires would have their teeth placed around the canine area, but here, they are placed toward the front, like that of a rat. Look at his dead, soulless eyes. Look at his towering, hunched demeanor, like that of a long shadow. Max Schreck, the actor behind Count Orlok, also performs with wonderful craft, being near motionless and emotionless as he quietly and slowly creeps around the vampire's castle. He stares into your very soul, putting you into a horrifying trance. Bilge Ebbury writes in an analysis of Nosferatu that while Sunrise, perhaps Murnau's greatest film, is among the pinnacles of cinematic movement, Nosferatu, on the other hand, is a masterpiece of paralysis. The one aspect of Nosferatu that sets it apart from most other German Expressionist films is the film's still camera work. Ebbury also makes note that the film even differs from some of Murnau's other work, such as Faust and The Last Laugh, which are known for their experimentation with moving cameras, tracking shots, and enormous sets. Nosferatu finds its horror through still, motionless imagery. It frames the exaggerated set design with the meticulously slow movements of the characters, particularly Count Orlok. These images ingrain themselves into your subconscious, appearing more like paintings as opposed to clips from a film. The influence of Nosferatu, as well as that of other German Expressionist films, is an influence that still finds its way today. Films as early as James Whale's Frankenstein found heavy influence from the genre. From the gothic set design to the towering, flat-top, and dead-eyed design of Frankenstein's monster, Frankenstein appears to be an homage to the German Expressionist films. Rick Warland states in his book, The Horror Film, A Brief Introduction, that by 1930, within the Hollywood industry, Germanic lighting, set design, and camera work were used to evoke bizarre, otherworldly settings, as well as to connote an artistically ambitious production. Those early Universal horror films clearly saw something artistically special within German Expressionistic films, influencing them to create some truly iconic imagery as well. Ranging from children's cartoons to the character design of the titular character of the Babadook, these films, particularly Nosferatu, have not only proven an everlasting impact, creating both beautiful and horrifying images that haunt us to this day, but also influencing many generations of filmmakers to come.